Check, check, 1 2. Check 1 2. Welcome to Bwamba TV. So we are happy to have you today. Today we just want to discuss the we are in the new financial year. In Uganda, it is the the, the 2nd of July 2026, and actually this is the first month of our financial year. I don't know in other countries, but in Uganda it is the start of another financial year, and I want us to discuss the new tax regime. Various laws, various tax laws have been amended according to the Uganda Revenue Authority, the tax body, the body that collects taxes in Uganda. It says all these amendments have been made purposely and solely to increase government revenue and also prevent more borrowing, because according to them the country has been dependent on borrowing. So they have made very many amendments on in the tax laws so that the rate of borrowing can be minimized. The laws that have been amended, specifically the Income Tax Act, the Value Added Tax Act, the Excise Duty Act, the Tax Procedure Code, very many taxes have been amended. The gaming and the betting and gaming board has also been dealt with. So if you are a Ugandan or somebody who would want to come to Uganda and invest there, this is the right place for you to be. Because let's start with the Income Tax Act. The Income Tax Act has been amended. My brother Prince Vlog is saying, "Where are you from?" Saying, "Hi bro, where are you from?" Currently I'm in Uganda, and I'm happy that you're here watching Bwamba TV, and we do not take that for granted. And we are happy to have you, by the way. And I want to say this: if you are a Ugandan and you're interested in running a business in Uganda, or somebody who is outside Uganda but would love to come and invest in Uganda, these amendments to the tax laws are the big deal. These are the things you should know. First, let's begin with the Income Tax Act. The Income Tax Act has very many sections, but I want us to I want to draw your attention specifically to the pay as you earn. The pay as you earn threshold has been increased from 235,000 to 335,000. What does this mean to an ordinary taxpayer like you and me? If you're an employee and you've been earning, let's say, 600,000, out of the 600,000, the government has said you will only pay as you earn, the tax called pay as you earn, only on the excess of the 335,000, meaning that your chargeable income is 600 less 335. This hasn't been the case. In the previous laws, the the threshold has been at 235, meaning that if you are earning, let's say, 400,000, in the previous laws, out of the 400,000, only 235,000 is exempt from pay as you earn. The remaining balance, around 170,000, is chargeable income. But in the current laws, the pay as you earn threshold has been increased from 235 to 335, and the Uganda Revenue Authority says that they have done this purposely to make sure that the low income earners take more money home and the high income earners carry the biggest burden of tax. It has been understood differently by some of the people, politicians, and other business people. But to me, I see it is a good thing, because if you find the biggest number, because for example, let's say, and it is a fact, the the biggest the, the, the biggest tax bracket in Uganda are the low income earners. And if the government decides that these low income earners will pay less of the tax and the high income earners will pay more of the tax, I think it is a good thing. My brother Prince Vlog says, what kind of work do you do, bro? Mm, I'm an accountant. Yes, I'm an accountant. So what I'm saying as an accountant. So thank you so much for asking, and I'm so happy that you are here, my brother Prince Vlog. And um, yeah, we are done with uh, the the pay as you earn. We have learned that the pay as you earn threshold has been increased from 235 to 335, meaning that the high income earners will be paying more in taxes than the low income earners. And I think that is a good thing. Thank you, the, the Uganda Revenue Authority. And the other amendments that have been done to the um, to the tax regime in Uganda as we head into 2026 2027 is the stamp duty. Previously, stamp duty has been at 1.5%, that is 1.5% of the value of the property, meaning that if you're transferring land worth 100 million, you are charged 1.5% of the 1 million to transfer that property from your name to someone else's name. But that's no longer the case. The stamp duty has been increased from 1.5 to 3%, meaning that land is going to become more expensive, and it has a very great bearing to me and you, the low income earners, because getting land will be quite expensive, since more charges will be involved. You have to pay 3% of the total value of the land you are purchasing. So stamp duty has been increased from 1.5% to 3%. I thought that that is something you should know as well, so that you do not be caught off guard. Yeah, thank you so much for being part of this amazing show. We are happy that you're following us. I'm seeing my brother Prince Vlog. I'm seeing uh, Emmy YouTuber. I really don't know the names. I'm sorry if I don't uh, if I don't get your name very well. So I thought that we should look at the tax regime, how the taxes have been, uh, uh, the taxes that have increased, the taxes that have reduced, the laws that have been amended, and everything that falls within that category. Oh, my brother Owere Joseph. Brother Owere Joseph, how are you? How are you doing? So thank you for being part of the show. Um, yes, I want us to go to something else. Yes. Yes, I want us to go to something else. Thank you for being part of this amazing show. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Please let me know where you are watching from. Let me know. Let me know where you're watching from. Yes. Let me know where you're watching from. Where Joseph? Emily Yuba. Yeah, please let me know where you're watching from. We are still learning about the income, the tax amendments that were passed in Uganda for the financial year 2026-2027. Yeah, we have seen that very many tax laws have been amended. We have seen amendments on the Income Tax Act. We have seen amendments on the Value Added Tax Act. We have seen amendments on the Excise Duty Act, the Tax Procedure Code Act, and we have seen amendment in the stamp duty tax regime. And the the value added tax has been amended, and this, I think this is one of the most interesting amendments that have happened in this financial year. As we've already started this financial year, we can confirm that this is one of the best amendments. Majorly, the value added tax threshold in Uganda has been at 150 million. Now it has been raised to 300 million Ugandan shillings annual turnover. This is a very interesting thing because businesses have been struggling with compliance costs, paperwork, hiring accountants to manage businesses. It has been very, very costly for small businesses, most especially those ones that are making an annual turnover of less than 300 million Ugandan shillings. But in this amendment that has been done, the VAT threshold in Uganda has been raised to 300 million Ugandan shillings annual turnover. So that is a fact that in small businesses have been saved from the costs of compliance, costs of paperwork, and costs of hiring accountants. So as of now, that is the update. And yeah, we are happy to say that thank you for being part of this show. Yeah, we have been talking about the tax amendments that have been made in Uganda that have taken effective 1st of July 2026, and these amendments were made last financial year, and on 1st of July they were into effect. And one of these is the revision of the pay as you earn threshold from 235,000 Ugandan shillings per month to 335 Ugandan shillings per month. And we see that the VAT threshold has also been revised from 150 million Ugandan shillings annual turnover to 300 million Ugandan shillings annual turnover. So businesses which are having a turnover of below 300 million Ugandan shillings can no longer are no longer required to file VAT, file for VAT and also pay. This has been a very tiresome tax to smaller businesses, and we are happy that this amendment has reduced that burden, the burden of compliance, the burden of paperwork, the burden of hiring professionals to manage these taxes. We are happy that these amendments have saved the Ugandans and non-Ugandans who are running businesses within Uganda, and it is a very good move. Yeah, thank you for listening to me, and I'm happy that you are following. Yeah, we also saw that the stamp duty has also been revised. It has been increased from 1.5% to 3%, meaning that if you're transferring property from yourself to someone else, you have to incur an extra 1.5% to make that transfer. Previously, in the previous laws, it has been at 1.5% of the total value of the property. Now it is 3% of the total value of the property. So that one is also another tax amendment that you should look up to as we get into the financial year 2026-2027. Yeah. You can tell us where you're watching from. Yeah. Hey. Yes.